Hello everyone. Today we are going to be covering a subject which is near and dear to my heart, which is how to customize and have it stay, on your character. We've technically already covered it. It's a little bit extra though. We're going to be covering purchasing, how to purchase a customization and have it stay on the character after they leave. I guess you might call this changing booth logic. Something like that. Let's reduce the detail just a tad. Overly detailed booth. Anyway, I'm going to quickly cover a few things. For one, we have a video which will tell you how to customize a character, which we're basically using as a basis for this. If you want to know how we set up some of the logic we have down here that already set up, it's in the previous video. Now there are a few minor changes and also some things to go over. First of all your variables for the customization must be set up in advance and be connected via node. This causes the visibility of our different customization options. So make sure they're persist in Dream, all the variables that is, and properly labeled. Next, we did something slightly different with the rotator, maybe not, I can't quite remember, but basically we've got a tag labeled player telly, and we rotate the base rather than the player himself, as demonstrated in the previous video. Instead, we have this teleporter, which we're going to be using a lot, called player telly on the player, and we rotate the base. But the logic is relatively the same. Nothing has really changed, so that first video should be applicable to this one, if you want to know how to set up all that stuff. But for now, we're going to go into purchasing. We're also going to figure out how to get the player into this booth and customizing, and how to make him leave when he's done. So yeah, let's get right down to that. I'm going to copy out our variable mount, I suppose you might call it. Only we're not going to make it variables, of course. We're going to make it enter. Should be good. I'm slightly allergic today, so hopefully that won't be a major issue. Put this over here. If you're wondering what this green fellow is, I think he stands in for an NPC. To give the idea that the shop is run by somebody. And we'll stamp out a tag. And we're going to call it enter again, which may seem a little redundant, but it's the action. And we're going to take a little timeline out, set it to play once. And we are going to connect a node. This is a familiar configuration if you've watched a lot of our videos. Going to stick a NOT gate in the power of that node. And we are going to take out a little trigger zone. Pull the zone in like so. You want it so that the player can only collide with it on the inside. And only a player can trigger it. Sounds like rain might be coming. Then we'll take out a switch. Put it here like so, on the timeline, and connect it to the NOT gate. Connect the zone to the node, and that should all be dandy and wonderful. Also could connect a camera here. And all it's really going to do is shut off our player's controls, and I guess kind of zoom into the to our little changing booth or whatever it is. Pull it out just a little bit. Let's copy it. This one we're going to set to cut. And we're going to pull it out a bit. Kind of get it some zooming camera action. And we're also going to want to put a wiper on this. It's just something to keep things, you know, transition well. And we'll of course need to come down here. I guess I might need to let go of this wire. We'll need a selector. And all it's going to do is turn on our control module, which I've set up previously. Once the transition is begun, it will turn on our control module as well as our camera, which is in a separate chip right here. And we're going to put that a little bit further along. That should do nicely. We're also going to speed up our transition a little bit. Fade in time and fade out time 0.3. And we're going to go ahead and test this just to make sure it's working as intended. Oh, I forgot. There's one other thing we're going to have to do. Connect B to the tag, player telly. It's always a good idea. I suppose we'll probably also want some of these customization things to not be active, so let's, at least these displayers. So we'll put a little thing here to contain them. And we might also take out a action recorder and set it to keyframe mode. Just go casually shut that off right there. Connect B, in case we need to shut off more UI options, because there's probably going to be more. Oh, actually what we want to do is we want to turn off the power and turn this on. Same with this, turn it off, then turn it on with the action recorder. I'm also going to go ahead and set the puppet to forced possession, because I feel like that might be kind of useful. And also we're going to delete the circle button from depossess, because we're going to need circle later for other things. Oh, we're also going to want to go in here to this little action recorder. Pardon me if things are a bit messy. And turn off the puppet interface so our puppet won't be able to move. And if you have any other actions that you program in, like if you directly hook up this controller sensor to anything like sword slashes or something of that nature, you're going to want to shut all the connections off as well, because you don't want him to be able to do any moves while he's in the changing booth. I mean, maybe. Unless that's a feature. Anyway, should be able to walk in now. That was a bit of a quicker... I don't know, that might have been really quick. I don't know if we need it that quick. Let's go with 0.5. Also, let's go with a circular wipe. I think that might be more interesting. Slow it down a bit. There, that should do it. try this out. Yeah, that's a much better transition. Now, currently, we can select with the D-pad, and you will want to display this to the player, but right and left on the D-pad go between customization options, and if you press down on the arrow pad, it'll change between the chest, the legs, and the feet. You know. And you can still customize everything else while leaving that customization on in case you want to get a full ensemble or whatever. Which, the way I did that, just to explain it real quick, is I have this selector which connects to the nodes up here and displays them as on. It doesn't activate the variables though, so it'll just display, you know, what you can see without actually, you know, making it permanent. You'll also want to connect B to this, because we want it to be off completely. Now that I think about it, we could even turn this off. We could, like, leave it on, I should say, and not have to turn it off manually with the action recorder, because we really will want it off in order to keep the customizations from remaining after we've left. Because otherwise, you won't even need to purchase anything, you just have to look at it and it'll be active. We'll use circle as our ability to leave the store. And since we've got the logic already up here, we might as well just go ahead and copy it to create leave. How convenient. Of course, we won't want a trigger zone, but, you know. All we're going to be doing is hitting wipe. Also, we might be disabling controls, because we really don't want you being able to move the, we don't want you moving this around, so go ahead and turn off the power of that. We don't want you, like, going through customizations and jamming things around while this is happening. Alright. And we're just going to simply, close this and reset to A, which is the default. We'll also need a tag labeled player telly. Make sure it's spelled properly. It's lowercase t on telly. Now, of course, when you're doing this, you can name it anything you want. Just be consistent with labeling, otherwise the tag won't be recognized by the teleporter. As we've covered in other videos, but I just think it's good to doubly remind people. And we're just going to put you outside right here. Well, wait a minute. Yeah. Put you pretty far away from the doorway so there's no chance of accidental, you know, triggering the thing. Alright, and we're going to put down a camera right here. Set it to cut, and that should do nicely. Alright, let's see how this works. This is just our leave. Oh, of course, we gotta connect circle to leave in order to make the process work. So let's go in here real quick and go to the circle output and stick it in this node's input. And there we are. We have left the booth. Now we're going to get into purchasing and how you would go about that. I think the easiest way, and the way that, you know, would be vastly preferred, because it's fairly simplistic, to just take out one of these. I actually have it here. It's a node, which is empty. But we're going to call it purchase. And we are going to take out a fellow called a dialogued text displayer. And we are going to input the price of a given item. Let's make it 100. And we're going to label this as cost 100. You know, I guess we could use dollars. You could really make it anything. You know, a fictional currency perhaps. We're going to make it $100. And we're going to have two options activated, two prompts that is. One will be purchase. The other will be cancel. You could really organize this any way you want. I'm kind of just going with this very basic setup. Presentation, though, is a big factor in a video game, so I would advise making things look very clean and spiffy, but that's a separate subject, so... Yes. Alright. What next? Oh, yes. Go to B, connect it like so, and we are going to want a similar configuration. We might as well just copy it, because we're basically all we want is another one of these. Except this time it's going to be gold, because we're purchasing. And, yeah, just leave everything, I mean, get rid of everything except for the switch. And we're going to be adding a variable which is +1 to hat. We're also going to want to subtract an amount of money, which is -1, if I can get my controller to work properly. -100. We're going to go with a variable labeled money, which we haven't put out yet, by the way, but I will put it out because it is important. A variable labeled money. We actually have covered store logic and how to do purchases a long time ago, but I think I'm going to go over it again because it's simple. Alright, maximum value 999, you know, really high up on the maximum value. I guess you could also have the maximum value be something like that. 10,000. That'll do. And we're going to want to display how much of this money we have. So, yeah, just leave it 0. Press play, connect. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, we don't have any money. Put it to 200 on the initial value, which if you rewind the scene should be active. And again, this is kind of a rudimentary way to display money, but having it down in the corner here would probably work. Alright, so we've got our little money variable. Let's make sure they're labeled the same. Money, okay, good. Next, we're going to want something that prevents us from purchasing if we don't have enough money, which is luckily a very simplistic process. We'll use a calculator and take the equals result and just go in here to prompts and connect it to purchase. And we go in here and we're going to go greater than, and this is the absolute minimum of money that you'll need to purchase this. We're gonna make it 999 so that if you have 100, it'll be just above 999, allowing you to purchase. And that's the absolute minimum amount of money you need for this prompt to be active. Pretty nifty, eh? Now the next thing you need to do is go in here to the variable and go to current value, and we're going to connect it to this operand one, or the A input. Another factor which I guess you could mention. We're going to want something after we purchased that prevents us from purchasing it more, so I would advise having the helm. Well, not the helm, but it could go for the helm. This is just something I would have connected to every variable that is a purchased variable, and we'll call it purchased. I'm gonna go in and record something real quick, and basically all we're gonna do is make it so that you can't purchase this thing again by shutting off the calculator. So once it's purchased, you can't get duplicates and run yourself out of money, you know. It's pretty useful. Alright, so I think we're ready to go, and we could go ahead and purchase something. The hat costs 100, and now we own the hat, and it should be that if we leave, we're not wearing the hat. Why is that? Oh, I forgot. Very simple mistake, but the hat variable should be set to +1. Oh, it looks like it is set to +1. What's going on with that? Oh, wait a minute. I don't think we pressed... Yeah, we didn't connect X to the node, so of course we wouldn't purchase it. Let's add a cash register sound effect. That would help us understand our mistake. Because, you know, if there's no sound effect, you won't know that we purchased. We don't have any other visual cues that we purchased, so that would really help. I guess we could also have something that says sold after that. Real quick, let's do that. We'll have something that says sold. And we're gonna put the sort order above other things because we already have, you know, customization. And we'll make it slightly tilted. And maybe that will work. We're also gonna wanna turn it off, and we only turn it on with this variable. Anyway, let's go ahead. There's probably simpler ways to do that, but I just want to do this real quick. Let's go in. Sold. And now we have the hat, and you could even have stats connected to the hat if you wanted to. Anything really. And I could also put in a menu, but that's a separate subject entirely, where you can switch between purchased items and turn them off and on. But like I said, separate subject. I hope this is useful. It was requested by a audience member, so hopefully you find this helpful in making future things. Oh, by the way, I do want to demonstrate real quick what would happen if we didn't have enough money to buy, because, you know, that's a crucial element. Let's say we have 99 instead of 100. As you see, there's no option to purchase. Another thing I might advise, possibly, if circle is your exit button, you might also want to change cancel, you know, cancel purchase or whatever. Although possibly if you're just, you know, flitting between options, that would naturally cancel itself out like this. Just press the side and, oh, I guess it wouldn't turn off. So yeah, you probably do want to press cancel. Or you could just, you know, be tricky and you could have cancel. You could just have these prompts. Not these prompts. These ones. Stick them off where someone can't see them. And next you would take out a little thing that says what is that? Is it D-pad? Is that it? Yeah, you just stick this down below here. Then put cancel. And that would kind of give the illusion, you know, with both of these things displayed at once, that would give the illusion that that's the connected to the text displayer when really it's just there. Of course, you want it directly inside the logic. Connect this text active to that so that it only displays when that's active. That should do nicely. Alright, the head. Then you just press the right arrow and it automatically closes the prompt. Nice. So, that's all. Here are the names of all of our lovely cult supporters. Many thanks to all of you. If you'd like to get your name in those credits, check the link in the description and head over to our Ko-fi. You can become a cultist neophyte to become credited at the end of our video, or you can become an acolyte to gain early access to videos in addition to credit. Now, if you aren't in the mood for membership, you can always leave a one-time tip. If you enjoyed this video and are not already subscribed, consider hitting the subscribe button down below. And maybe give us a quick like, both options are free. Also, don't forget to ring the notification bell so you will always be notified when new videos come out. If you have any thoughts, questions, or suggestions, leave them in the comment section. Or if you just want to let out your pent-up rage, give us some smack talk. Until next time, goodbye.